All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our CalChiro live broadcast. So glad to have everybody on here today. Looking forward to a good show, giving everybody a chance to kind of log in here for a minute and get everything set up. I wanted to thank everybody for the opportunity to do these live broadcasts. I'm really looking forward to being able to give away $1,000 here today. So hopefully it'll work out for everybody or who's on the call. We'll get some people some money. So, all right, I wanted to start our conversation off today. We're going to have a co-host. I'm going to let our co-host in here today. This is going to be Dr. Meg Spicer joining us. Hello, Miss Meg. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you doing, Phil?
Oh, cool. Good. Everything's working. We can hear you. That's awesome. Um, Miss Meg is going to be help. I should call you Dr. Meg. I apologize. I'll stop saying Miss Meg. But she's going to be joining us today, and she's going to be our host next week. I've got some opportunities to go out there and do some networking with some legislators. So I'm going to take some of those opportunities, and Meg's going to take over for me next week. But I wanted her to get a little familiar with the broadcast and that kind of thing as well. So hopefully today will serve that purpose. But let's talk first of all about our upcoming fall conference on October 12th and 13th. Do I have the dates right on that, Meg, or am I off on my dates?
So what I've got is 11, 12, and 13. So it's going to be a weekend.
Perfect. One of the things I really wanted to bring up today about the fall conference, I've been reaching out to different people, really trying to encourage people to attend. I can't understate the value of being in the room. And that's something that I know, Meg, firsthand, because we've been to different events together on different parts of the country, and you've traveled great distances. So being in the room is invaluable. The networking opportunity that you have, or maybe you can share with people your experience about being in the room and that kind of thing.
So, I've been involved in a lot of the state association and the national association wise. And when you show up, that's when the connections are made. So if you are looking to be able to expand your business or maybe find some answers for some questions that you've got, showing up is really part of it, because when you're there, you can ask the questions, you can meet the people, and you can probably find that sometimes you might find the answer of what you're looking for, or you might find the right person that just presents themselves when you show up, so that when you do, then it can bring up the idea of how you can be able to find a solution for that problem. But showing up is a really big deal. And that is what we're doing with the live event, is that when you show up, it's an opportunity for you to be able to win that cash prize, as well as expand your knowledge, and then come together as a community here that we have in CalChiro.
I love it. As an example, we have over 40 doctors right now signed up for the speed networking event. So students, if you are on our broadcast today and you're sharing with us, I'm sure if I look in the chat, I'll see some of our students in here. Molly, I know you've been coming on the program a lot, and Kendall, we're going to have a lot of doctors for you to talk with in the speed networking event. That was one of the favorite events of last year. So can't understate enough, get in the room. If you need help getting signed up, if you need help getting a room, I've been doing my best to raise money for students to come to fall conference. So message me or reach out. Let's get you on the roster and get you there. One of the most important things that we do there too is our political action committee fundraising. If you're a member on the call, hopefully you know what our political action committee is. I'd love to see us put the link for our political action committee in there, because we can't get things done on a legislative level unless we have political action committee funding. And so I know, Meg, you've been a generous funder to our political action committee. I don't know if you wanted to say anything about the political action committee and our advocacy, but I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that if you'd like.
Yeah, thank you. The big reason why we need to fuel our political action committee is because that is our leveraging points that we are going to have with the politicians to being able to help push through support for chiropractic legislation. So we've had prior legislation where it's actually trying to take away the term doctor from chiropractors, as well as dentists and other providers throughout the state. Additionally, we have different programs that different legislative bills that we support or that we oppose. So it's you got to pay to play. And part of what gives us the ability to be able to practice in California is our state association for CalChiro, as well as our political action committees. So when we're looking at things like QMEs, right? I'm a QME. We got a fixed fee schedule, which made it a lot more of the even playing field and balanced a lot of things out. That is because of our volunteers who are involved within the association that are utilizing the resources that we've got within the political action committee as well. So it's all around encompassing. If you like your scope of practice, if you like to be able to practice in California and make money, contribute to the pack, because you got to pay to play.
All right. Hey, I'm looking in the chat right now, and I see some of my chiropractic friends here. I see Haley. Haley, we got to get some Palmer students down to the fall conference. We got to get you guys in the quiz bowl. I'm willing to help you guys raise some money, just like I'm doing for Molly and the Life West kids and that kind of thing. And good to see some other chiropractic friends on here as well. I'm sure we'll get more people on as we go through the broadcast when it's time to really win the money. That's when things really start heating up. But if you're on with us now, please smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. That's how we get to notify you, especially if you're not getting the text messages. You should be getting a text message with the link every week. If you're not, reach out to Tiffany, our membership director. Tiffany can make sure we've got you in the system to receive text messages, and also that we have the right phone number for you. So if you don't like money, you should not do that, because we are giving away a lot of money today, $1,000. It's going to get exciting at the end of the show. But I wanted to introduce today's guest. Let me bring him on here. Let me see. There he is. There's my man right there. I'm so excited for today's guest. If you haven't met James Chester, highly recommend that you take the time to check out his podcast. You can see it there in the background for our viewers, the Chiro Hustle podcast. You know, James and I, we've had probably 2 or 3 years now going on of working together and just getting to see what this guy does in the profession, the amount of heart he has for chiropractic, even though he doesn't even have a chiropractic degree. It's inspiring, you know, and I love working with people like that. I love being around people like that because they elevate me, they elevate the profession. And so I'm excited to have him on as a guest today. James, just say hi to the viewers and give yourself a quick introduction.
Hey guys, thanks for having me today. Really cool to be here with you and Dr. Meg. You know, I just say go over to chirohustle.com, check us out, take a test drive of the website, listen to a couple episodes, and just know that we do a great deal to support chiropractic, just like you guys do in the state of California. And there's a lot that goes into creating media that supports this big brand of chiropractic that really connects all chiropractors together. And I'm really excited for that. So I hope to share some other things with you guys today about marketing and branding and sales and things of that nature that a lot of people need some clarity on and some ideas around. So really, really happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
Nice. And you hit the nail on the head, man. It's, you know, we are not experts in media here as chiropractors, right? And that's why we need people like you. That's why we can partner with people like you and collaborate with people like you and the company that you have to help us in that regard. So let's dive into it a little bit today because, you know, we talked about some bullet points. And I think the first thing is you said, hey, let's define the difference between sales and marketing, because I think that's such an important distinction.
Well, you offer so much to the world when you market consistently, but you can throw all the marketing in the world at anything unless you have sales. And I think that people don't understand that sales is like, used to be really frowned upon. Like you told people you sold stuff, like they generally think of you as like, you didn't do something right with your life.
Yeah.
And like, why are you selling? Like, but really what people don't understand is like, that's the most critical part to anything from a business standpoint is you have to learn these principles of sales and you have to understand these principles of communication. And it doesn't matter if we're selling chiropractic or if we're selling, you know, books. Everything has an ability to transcend somebody if we do it the right way. And that's the thing is you can get a vendor booth at any of these conferences for CalChiro, but if somebody's not actively going out there and connecting with people and registering people for the conference and getting names in the email database, That's the sales part of it. So, I think that it's really important to understand that marketing is your brand and your identity out in the public, but the sales is recruiting and getting people to take action within the system. So when you guys are talking about the pack and what it means to be involved with that, like that doesn't move unless Meg goes and gets people to give us money for that organization to go out there and to be a political force and to make sure that doctors not removed from the chiropractors names in the state. So there is a lot that goes into the marketing, the branding, and the sales. But I think the more that people just kind of understand that they're not the same, it's going to speed up the process better.
Okay. I'm a big fan too of the Book Yourself Solid curriculum, and they always say marketing is creating awareness, right? And the sales will take care of themselves when you create enough awareness. But I also wholeheartedly believe that everything involves a sale, whether I'm trying to get my kid to eat her vegetables or I'm trying to get my wife to go out to dinner with me. Those are all sales jobs. So if you think you're not into sales, you're probably wrong, or I think you're wrong. But let's move into kind of our next topic, because I don't know if people know how awesome you are when you do so much to go out there and help people. You do a lot of different screening events for people. You actually get hired to actually go to events and screen people for different doctors' office, which you get amazing results. You could tell people, how many 50, 100 people you sign up for an event. But talk to us a little bit about communication that resonates with the prospects when we're in those events.
Well, yeah. And, I think that's a great segue into me being able to talk about the outreach and community outreach events and showing up and not just putting a booth up.
Sure.
I think that when people think about chiropractic screenings, they're like, gosh, that sounds terrible. And there's a lot of disconnect with people because they don't know why they're there.
Right.
They don't know how to go and do this work. So, there's a stretch there. Just give some people some background. I did 600 screenings in 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing 28 screenings a month for 36 straight months. So when people think about like going out there and like doing sales and doing marketing, that's what kind of gave me the footing to be an authority in this.
Right.
And you don't become great at something unless you do it over and over. And did I go out there sometimes and get my butt kicked? Yeah. Did I come out there sometimes and walk away and felt like I just like got defeated? Of course. But that was also a challenge for me. It was a challenge for me to see how can I go out there and get 10 people every day I go out, at least 10 people. And I think that was a huge, huge part of this is understanding what people need now. This month will mark my 10th state that I've worked in this year.
Oh, wow.
So understanding that level of commitment to travel around the country and going out and saving people's lives with chiropractic, I understand what people want because I've talked to so many people. And I would tell you that people want community. They want trust. They want to be invited in. Most people want real doctors to take care of them. They just don't know that that's a chiropractor. When they start talking to me and I start like asking them like what happened, with whatever condition they're dealing with, when I start asking them if they're doing anything for this and if they've ever seen a chiropractor, it's such eye-opening because people are telling me left and right that they don't know where to go or who to trust. And then I say one thing, I know we can help you. And you can see this weight lift off these people's bodies like a ghost just like drifted off of them, or like stress of 10 years just removed from their life, because everybody just wants to go somewhere where they know that we can help them. So then I guideline their expectations. I say, look, on the visit 1, you're going to get this. On visit 2, you're going to get this. If you like us, you think we're a good fit, stick with us. But I've learned how to earn their trust and rapid speed. Like that whole segment that I just talked through takes me about 3 to 5 minutes. And before we know it, that person's showing up at 70% show rate. So I know because of the system that I've been, refining over 800 events now and 11,000 new patients, that people want you to acknowledge them. They want you to listen to them, but better yet, they want you to tell them that you can help them, and they want to have clarity. Like they so bad want to know why they're showing up. And then if you do charge them to show up for those first visits, you got to explain to them exactly what they're getting. And then the doc has to deliver, obviously. So
Sure.
if you have a good day one and day two when somebody shows up to your clinic, at that point you can earn that person's business. You can convert them under care. You can, help them. You can do the exam, the consultation, the health history, the neurological evaluation, the x-ray, and you can give them the report of findings. And I think that that's so critical to earn somebody's business that doesn't know where to go or who to trust. And that whole component is like the greatest thing in the world when you can see somebody that you've never known before. You take 5 minutes with them, you set them up for a visit. Now they're showing up, and now you get the greatest thing in the world, which is a new chiropractic patient that's excited to come in for what we offer.
That right there, man, that's worth $1,000. So even if you don't win today, the $1,000, I mean, the fact, like what I heard you say, or what my take home is community, man. People are looking for community, right? And you are just engaging them in a venue that they're already comfortable with, but that you're meeting them where they're at, right? And then you're overcoming their objections in advance. I think that's so cool. You called it setting expectations. I'm calling it overcoming objections. But you're telling them up front, hey, here's what it's going to take to become a patient. Here's what it looks like to be in the office. Here's how long it's going to take. Because those are all questions people have. And if you can address those questions before they ever get in, it doesn't feel like sales anymore.
The funniest part is I'm at the point where when somebody talks to me, they don't even ask me the question, the follow-up. I just answer it for them.
You've done the homework. Have you ever done an exercise where you thought about or wrote down what questions people commonly ask, or thought about what questions people are going to ask?
I've done it so frequently that I know what they're going to ask. They're going to ask, how much does it cost to move forward with care after this initial 2 visits? They're going to ask if we take health insurance, yes or no. And that's really what comes next.
I got you.
So it's pretty straightforward. I can kind of look at somebody in the eye when I know what the next lead into is. And, I always give them the option. Hey, do you want to bring someone else with you on this chiropractic visit with yourself? You we can get them set up too. I used to consider it as like when, for lack of a better business model, when McDonald's would ask people if they want fries with that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of do that on the back end close. Like, hey, is this visit for you, or would you like to bring someone else with you?
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I get somebody to say, you know what, I want to bring my kid. And I'm like, awesome. And then I tell them it's easier to make healthy children than fix broken adults. And you're making a really good choice. And, it's just, people want you to have confidence in what you do too. That's why what I do works, because I know that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to dominate that event, and I'm going to help so many people, and I'm going to give them opportunities to upsell. And that's a really, really learned skill set, is to get 2-for-1s, which is it's really fun. And if I see a mom there with their kids, I always try to get the kids to come in too.
Where do you feel like you developed your confidence and certainty in chiropractic? Because, man, that is the whole, if there's anybody on this call that wants to ask me how to, build a practice, it's your energy and enthusiasm, and it's your confidence and certainty in your product, your service, and your ideals. Just like Jimmy Parker said, early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise. That's a BJ one. But I know you subscribe to those, man. So where did you get your confidence and certainty in chiropractic?
Oof.
Well, I surprised you with that one, man. I'll give you a minute to think. And
I was 30 years old. I'll be 46 in like 2 weeks, but I was 30 years old. So I've been in this chiropractic game for 16 years. I sat up one night really late, and I was wondering what I was going to dedicate my time and interest to with my skill sets. And I got an opportunity to go work at a chiropractic clinic in the Chicagoland area. But I thought to myself, is this something that I could pour my heart and soul into?
Okay.
Could I put my life out there and dedicate my time and talent and treasure to something like chiropractic?
Right.
And I had no idea what was going to happen over the next, handful of years. I had no idea that I was going to get the big idea, like a lightning bolt thrown down at me from Fred Schofield. I had no idea that I was going to get poured into by so many guys that played rugby at Palmer. I had no idea that I was going to learn from, the CBP group, Those guys poured into me like family. So I learned chiropractic biophysics. And then I was wondering why everybody wasn't under care.
Mm.
So it took a lot of like development for me to say, hey, I'm burning the ships. I'm going to go work in chiropractic, whether it's popular or not. I believe in what they do and I'm all in. So I think that that's something that even the young DCs that might be watching this, like you have to be all in. You have to burn the ships. You have to say, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to succeed. I don't care what my debt load is. I don't care where I live. I don't care anything. Like you just got to. And then after so long, Dr. Phil, of doing the work, I started getting really, really good with managing people that said no to me.
Mm.
And I think that chiropractic is like a profession that gets a lot of no's.
Absolutely.
So you have to be okay with that rejection. You have to be okay with that, that moment and not take it personally.
Yeah.
Like I'm on to the next one. I'm like, all right, take a lap, come back. Let me know when you're ready. Who's next? You know, like it really doesn't bother me if somebody tells me no anymore, because I know that there's 5 more people waiting to tell me yes.
Yeah.
So when you have certainty and people come into your life and you're working and you're trying to do your best, like it's always going to be challenging. There's not an easy day that I go out there that I'm like, gosh, I can't tell the future. I just know that if I go out there with my enthusiasm, burn the ship's attitude, and I have a no rejection gene, we're going to win.
Well, I love that, man, because you know, we have the same worldview, and oftentimes I feel like I'm the unicorn in social environments because I don't know any different than being under chiropractic care, you know. And so I've been dealing with this since I was a little kid on the playground, and it inspires me to see people like you have come to this worldview, because that's what I want for our chiropractors in this community. You know, I want them to get so like impassioned about what they're doing, so indignant about people trying to tell them what chiropractic is good for, that you know, we're ready to stand up. We're gonna, like you said, burn the boats. We're gonna take the hill, kind of thing, right? This is we're not going down that road anymore. So I appreciate that you do that. And I know it's a lot about you always show up, man. And tell us why you always show up, because I think that's important for everybody to hear.
Well, that's what you were talking about earlier, being in the rooms, having that human connection. I want community. I want connection. I want to find my people, you know, and I think that anytime I'm around a seminar or around, you know, I saw you guys out at the Wave at Life West,
Yeah.
you know, and I feel connected. And I think that people need that. They need to be around their colleagues. They need to be around friends. They need to get inspired. They need to hear messages from people, like the message I'm going to deliver at the conference with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that anybody that doesn't sit in and see my talk on that Sunday is going to miss out. And I've been working on this talk for all year. Like it's been something that I've given like several times over this year, and it's going to be the best one I've ever delivered. So when I get a chance to come in and go to like a Cal Jam or a Mile High or a Wave, I go there and I pick up good relationships with people, and I go out there and I listen and get inspired. You know, I'm a student. Like the first time I went to like an EPOC group, which is called Epicenter Chiropractic, I was still working in an office and I was just the assistant. But I went to this group and I saw these chiropractors like that were flying in and talking to the room full of people, and they were fired up about this profession. And some of the early people that helped fund my documentary were people that were speaking at these EPOCs. So they caught on to me and they're like, I like this guy. I like what he's up to. And I just feel like I have this massive community that's global. No matter where I go, I have a chiropractor, and that's really cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I admire you because you will pay whatever price, man. You will travel whatever distance. And I think what you said earlier, I don't want this to get missed. I want to come back to this for just a minute, because you said you got to be willing to go out there. And one of the things that concerns me is that we have young students, we have new graduates that, you know, don't have faith and confidence in what they're doing, and they're not willing. They're worried about going out there. And I'm hearing you say it now, and I heard, oh gosh, his name's skipping me. He was our first guest. Faith or Meg, who's our first guest?
Dr. Athens.
Oh, Nick Athens. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Talk about like, hey, you got to get yourself out there. And so can you just share with us like how you strategize these events and how you set up events just a little bit and that kind of thing? Because I want to make sure for the young folks that are on with us, they get that in their mindset.
Yeah, so I guess I'll segment it down to the work that I do and then the chiropractic circuit.
Okay.
So I'll start with the work that I do. I want to go somewhere where I'm selling, where that's the busiest events in town. I want the most strollers. I want the most moms. I want the most kids. I want the most families. I want people that are going to value what we do so I can connect with them.
Okay.
So 10,000 people on a weekend, that's a starter. But I want the busiest group of people or the busiest events in town, whether it's home and garden shows, RV shows, community festivals, like 2 to 3 day community festivals where it's like the big event in town, county fairs, state fairs. Like I want the most humans I can find. So that's like tier 1 of the work that I do. Tier 2 is the circuit. My home state's Colorado, so I've been to every single Mile High. I love the leadership. I love that it's subluxation centered. I love that they talk about philosophy. They have green book readings. They have they don't allow anybody at that event that's not congruent with chiropractic.
Sure.
Like if it's not real deal chiropractic, they're not allowed. So I love that about that group. But I think that there's so many great places that you can go, whether it's Tim Young's Focus in Oklahoma, whether it's New Beginnings out in Jersey. I think that every group has a little bit to offer to you. I think, I love Paul Reed's Chiro Fest. I know
CalChiro has a lot to offer to you.
Yeah. And this will be my second year coming to a state association event with CalChiro. I love growing with you guys. That's one of the things is I show up, as you said, I show up for you guys because I know what you guys are doing. And I know that we have good leadership. And, you said about a couple of years ago, we've been working together. I admired you from day one. I'm like, this guy's not going to give up. Nobody's going to push this guy. Nobody's going to push this guy around. And if I can stand in the gap with him and offer anything to help support his mission, as the president of the CalChiro Association, I'm like, let me show up for that, because I think that we're stronger together, and I don't have to convince you to do the right thing. You're already doing it.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing that I find within chiropractic. I sometimes I'm the biggest proponent at an event for chiropractic, and I'm not a chiropractor. And
it's amazing.
And it makes me shrug my shoulders, but that's why I don't stop, because this profession needs really sound leadership that won't back down and wants people to retain philosophy in these schools and, keep freedom of speech in this profession. So there's so much more to offer, but that's kind of, how I pick the events I go do and the circuit that I go on. But I really want Billy DeMoss to bring CalJam back. So Billy, if you listen to this, let's get that back on the schedule.
Well, let's go into kind of our next step and our next discussion point. I just wanted you to share with us quickly. You have some steps for how to set up or how you get these events set up, or just tell us how you book them.
Yeah. So I tell everybody to go to their number one resource, which is the internet. And I say, look for festivals in your community. Look for home and garden shows, expos, women's expos. You can just go look at the community event calendar. They're usually free. They want people to come to the event, so they're gonna definitely have them on the calendar event. So say I live in Grand Junction, Colorado. If I went and just looked for community events in Grand Junction, Colorado, or there's a major expo center here, I go and look at the expo center's website and see what's coming through and see if that's in alignment with us getting a marketing booth there. I would say reach out to the event center, see how many chiropractors are coming, if they have any chiropractors coming. I really don't care. You could send 10 chiropractors to the same event as me and we're all going to do well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any competition there, but I would definitely find out what the event center has to offer, what street festivals you have, what county fairs, things of that nature around you. And then I would apply for them. I'd at least make sure I was getting one big event like that a quarter.
Okay.
I would put it on the calendar. I would train my team how to do these community outreach events so you can get results. But I just think that the more that people are inclined to go out there and meet their community where they are and show up, that's marketing. And you might not schedule those people, but they'll walk by you and they'll know that you're out there in your community. So when they hear of somebody needs a chiropractor, you're the first one that they're going to think about.
It's all energy and enthusiasm, man. I got one final question for you before we wrap up. This is probably where you want to start telling your friends to log in if they're just here to win the money, but tell them they missed out on some valuable content today, probably $1,000 worth of content right here. But I know new graduates, students, they get concerned with, well, if I go out to street fairs and things like that, that's really not doctorly of me, you know. So what's your response to that, or what do you have to say to those folks?
Business is hard.
Yeah.
And being a leader is hard. And filing for an LLC and picking out furniture and hanging your diploma on the wall is not chiropractic. That's not going to bring people into you. You have to drop that idea that this is beneath me. And if you want to be successful, I would say go out there before your doors open and pre-book 100 new patients on your calendar, whether you're knocking on doors, whether you're dropping off cookies to businesses, whether you're going out and setting up street festivals or farmers markets or expos. You have to go out there and harvest your community and bring people in and get them set up. Otherwise, you're going to be really struggling, and your ego is going to get in the way of your business. And if you don't sell, you don't market, it's going to be a really hard challenge for you. It's going to be something that you're probably not going to be so excited about in a year out. And you're going to be backpedaling the whole time, going out there and doing it reluctantly and having a terrible time with it. And you're going to be challenged even further because you have to get results now. So I would say start yourself out with a nice runway of expected growth, rather than I have to go out and throw the Hail Mary and hopefully I can win and stay in business, because that's the reality of this. You have to go out there and beat the streets and go out and touch your community. Otherwise, you're never going to make it. I don't care who you are. I mean, unless you're walking into like becoming an associate, and then they're going to ask you to go to do marketing anyways.
For sure. I always think about it, as we are here to be of service to humanity, right? That's why we entered into it, right? And so I try to put myself aside. I try to put my ego aside and say, who am I supposed to find and serve? Who am I meant to serve? And that's always helped me, because I've had those thoughts too, just like everybody else, like, oh, why do I got to go to this event? Why do I got to give this healthcare class? But I try to remind myself, it's all about finding people to serve and serving them and keeping them close. So, well, I really appreciate all your thoughts today, but tell people how they connect with you, man, or how do we stay in touch?
Yeah, I'm pretty active on Facebook. Find me on Messenger, shoot me a message. I usually get back to people pretty quickly. Go to the website, chirohustle.com. We have a submission of connection on there, so people can go and click on, send us a message through the website. It's easy to find me. When I'm at the CalChiro event, come up and say hi to me. If you want to work with me in the future, just talk to me and we'll see how we can get something going. I am getting awfully full for 2025.
Okay.
So many repeat clients from the past couple of years keep me on their roster for events. So if somebody is interested in getting me going to help them grow their practice, don't hesitate. Reach out to me sooner than later, because honestly, the weekends are filling up fast.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate it. So we are going to try to give away some money today. Are you going to be able to stay on with us here for a minute and watch the wheel?
I want to see who's going to take me out to lunch when I'm at CalChiro.
There you go, man. There you go. That's it. All right. So before we bring up the wheel, I just want to remind you guys we're less than a month away from fall conference. I believe the room block is getting close to being shut down, or maybe it has been shut down. Hopefully you can still get a room at the discounted rate. Beautiful property, tons of opportunities to network, like you said. We've got the speed networking event for students that's going to be awesome. We got the Quiz Bowl. All My Life West students are coming to defend their Quiz Bowl title, so I'm super excited about that. Hopefully you'll get a chance to break away and see that. That's a lot of fun, always a lot of fun. But let's do it. Let's bring up the wheel here. Let me get out of the chat into the notes.
So again, the annual conference is going to be in Palm Desert, which is the one that Dr. Dieter was just talking about, and that is going to be October 11, 12, and 13.
All right. So let's just explain the rules of the event and what we're going to do. We're going to spin for 10 names today. Hopefully, I've got my trusty helpers on the chat to keep me straight on how many names. We're going to spin the wheel. You have to be on the broadcast. You have to chime in the chat within 30 seconds. Everybody who's a member's name is in the wheel or is in the drawing here for today. I see some people on the drawing that were winners last week, but they didn't win. They won, but they didn't collect their money. So let's bring up the wheel and we'll go ahead and spin for the first winner for today. And Tiffany's back for us today. The OG Vanna. OG Vanna back on the broadcast today. Here's our first winner. Getting ready. Nicholas Houston. I've heard we have a timer that we're going to be able to push out. Let's see if the timer is able to come up. Do I have to let the timer in? That's potentially. Okay, well, I'm keeping the clock right now for Nicholas Houston. Nicholas Houston, you have 30 seconds to claim your prize. Hopefully, well, I see Macy's on here today and Dennis. Both Dennis and Macy, their name was selected last week. So you know, folks, that there's real names. Nicholas, you got 10 seconds to come and claim your prize. Nicholas, it doesn't look like you're on with us today. Usually if they're on, they're like, oh, I'm here. This is one of those things. No, we could not hear the music, Tiffany. All right, Nicholas. Well, you were a winner today, but you are not here to collect your prize. So let's do name number 2. We're trying to get the music going that's like Jeopardy music here. Okay, name number 2. Name number 2.
Sorry, Howie doesn't count.
Everybody's saying their name is misspelled on this wheel. Richard Westbrook. Richard Westbrook, you have 30 seconds to come claim your prize. Richard Westbrook. Yeah, I know my boy Howie. Oh, it's good to see my boy Howie on here. He's been so instrumental at helping us to bring students from Palmer into the Quiz Bowl and into the association. So I'm super grateful for him. Really hoping I can get him down there. Got to try to raise some money for some Palmer students and bring a whole contingent down there. Richard Westbrook, you have 5 seconds to come claim your prize. Doesn't look like Richard's going to be here today. All right. So that was name number 2. We're going to have 10 names called, Miss Marissa or Dr. Marissa Palmer. 10 names, a.k.a. Chiro Pug. This is name number 3. All right. Name number 3. Robert Delmonico. Robert Delmonico, you are a winner. Robert Delmonico, you have 30 seconds to come claim your prize. I really wish you could figure out a timer with some kind of Jeopardy music. We got to put in some requests. I got to figure this out.
If anybody knows Robert, tell him to get on the call.
Oh, yeah, you can always text Robert. Robert, you have 10 seconds to come claim your prize. Oh, I know. We're always trying to get the music up. We're going to have to do some kind of dry run or something to get the music up. Robert, you have 5 seconds to claim your prize. Doesn't look like Robert's here with us today. I see my faithfuls, though. Couple of new people's on the program today. All right, Robert, that's your time. Name number 4 coming out. Name number 4. My buddy TJ. Oh, good dealing with you. Smells like Frank Vaught. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of Frank's cologne soon. TJ. Ken Casorla. I think I pronounced that correctly. Ken Casorla, you have 30 seconds to come claim your prize. This is name number 4. Ken Casorla. All right. You have about 20 seconds to come claim your prize. TJ and I are putting together some golf Friday morning, at the CalChiro conference. If anybody wants to join us, trying to get a tee time set up. But Ken, you have 5 seconds to come claim your prize. Doesn't look like Ken's going to be with us today. You were a winner, but not here to claim your prize. All right, number 5. Number 5, here we go. I know, Joe, Dennis not being here last week, man, that I had to tell him myself that I was pulling for him. Oh, Joseph Allender! Joseph Allender, you have 30 seconds.
Dr. Allender, where are you?
Come and claim your prize. Oh, my Lanta. This is pandemonium. I know Joe a long time. Former chairman of the board for Life West. He's been helpful with our membership committee. Man, Joe, I wish text him right now, Meg. Tell him he's got 10 seconds to come claim his prize. I don't know if there'll be enough time.
That's nice.
Joe, bummer. Joe, you have 5 seconds to claim your prize. Well, Joe would probably donate it back to one of these students as well. So we need to get some people some money, one of these students some money. I'm really pulling for Haley. I want to get those Palmer kids there. I got to get them pumped up. So name number 6. I think Haley is still with us. Oh, Jennifer Zarate. I see Jennifer Zarate too. Jennifer, let's rally the people. Jennifer, okay, we're name number 6. Is that correct?
Name number 6.
I get all
Bob
excited.
Johnson.
Bob Johnson, you have 30 seconds to come claim your prize. See, I get all fired up when I see somebody like Dennis or Joe, and then I'm like, pandemonium. I lose track of how many names we spun. All right, Bob Johnson, you've got 15 seconds to come claim your prize. Oh, Scott Swanson's on here today. All right. Dr. Scott, San Francisco District. We got some stuff going on in the San Francisco District, May. You're going to have to tell us about that in our next little chat session here. Bob Johnson, you have 5 seconds to come claim your prize. Doesn't look like Bob's going to be here today. Can I get verification? Thank you. Don Benton finally chimed in. We are on
3 more names.
All right. So this is number 7, correct?
Yes.
All right. Number 7 coming out. Sometimes I feel like I'm a craps dealer, or you're coming out. Here we go. Name number 7 is Christine Valdez. Oh, gosh. Christine, you have 30 seconds to come claim your prize. I don't know, Christine. I want to get excited. I always get excited about the people I know. So. But tell us, Meg, what's going on in the San Francisco District? Well, we have 15 seconds for Christine to come on board.
Well, San Francisco and San Mateo have been working together on hosting an event recently. We had a pool party event with some CE.
5 seconds, Christine.
And we've got Kate Wong as our president for that district, and she's actually got an event coming up, I believe, next month.
Well, hold that thought. You can tell us about the event while we pick so it doesn't look like Christine was here.
All right, time to move on number 8.
All right, well, name number 8. Remember, you got 30 seconds, Meg, to tell us all the stuff. So got to tighten it up. We got to tighten it up. All right, let's go. Here we go. Name number 8.
Kate Wong!
Kate Wong!
Our president for San Francisco.
The person we're talking about, you got 30 seconds starting now. Oh, tell me Kate is with us. Oh, come on, Kate. Come on, Kate. Are you texting her right now, man?
I am.
Oh, okay, good. Text her up. Let's see. Do I see her in the chat? Oh, my Lanta. Kate, you have 10 seconds to come claim your prize.
No.
And we got an event tonight in Santa Cruz, an ethics presentation with Dr. Jim Nacarado at Scott Sawyer's office. Kate, oh, my Lanta, you are a winner, but you are not here to claim your prize. All right. We're on name number 9, correct?
Name number 9.
Name number 9. Well, that means we got all the way to number 10. So we're gonna
we got one more after this. This one isn't claimed.
Yes, we got one more after this. Kenneth Help. Do I know Kenneth Help? I'm not sure if I know that name.
All right, Kenneth. Anybody know Kenneth? Give him a call. Give me a text.
You got 30 seconds, Ken, to come and claim your prize. Tell us about Kate Wong's event in San Francisco.
Oh, gosh. You know what? Honestly, the best way to find that information out is either to go to calchiro.org, or you should all be reading your weekly adjustment, the TWA, which goes out every single week and gives announcements for future events coming up. And it's a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about what else is going on behind the scenes and understanding where your money is going as a member and where we are going as an organization.
That wasn't 15 seconds, Meg, but we'll tighten it up next time. Time goes quick.
It does go
All
quick.
right. This is our final name. This is our final name for this week. Oh my gosh. We've had some winners on here today.
The pile keeps going up. If we don't get this one claim next week,
who doesn't
we're going to be
want
at
to
about
sell for
$1,100.
$1,000? That blows my mind.
Sylvia
stepped in.
She was the star the other day. Come on, Sylvia.
Sylvia, you have 30 seconds. I want to thank our guests one more time. James Chester, thanks so much for being on. Really appreciate you, buddy. Looking forward to your presentation. Dr. Meg Spicer, thanks for being on this week. Hopefully you got a little familiar with the cadence of the show and you'll be ready to host our guest next week, Dr. Sherry McAllister. Doesn't look like Sylvia's on here with us. You got 5 seconds. I won't be with you guys next week. I'll be out talking to politicians on the golf course. So life gets tough when you are advocating for chiropractic, but I will do it for you guys. So, All right. Well, we didn't have a winner this week, but join us next week. Thanks again, James, for being on the show with us.
That was great. Thank you.
And I'll be in the golf cart watching, Meg. If you have any questions, let me know. All right.
I hope you're live because if your name comes up, you got to be present to win.
Oh, I will. I'll be in that chat. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'll be in that chat.